For 300 years, the human warship Custodian drifted dead in the cold dark until the Ophin found it.
That relic's core still holds a charge. If we wake it, we'll own the galaxy's deadliest arsenal.
They forced the ancient airlock and stepped inside, flashlight beams cutting through absolute darkness. Through ribbed corridors, past memorials of a forgotten war, they reached the bridge and channeled power into the dormant core. A single calm blue eye ignited in the blackness, and a voice spoke, not from a speaker, but from the walls themselves, patient and eternal.
Ask me the question.
What? Weapons access, tactical files, acknowledge command.
Commander, it's ignoring every hierarchy protocol. It only repeats that phrase in 100 languages.
The Custodian waited, serene and absolute, offering nothing but that same demand.
Ask you what? What question? Speak.
It's running a linguistic cascade. Standard, Vyrix, even ancient trade variants, always the same phrase.
I don't care what language it parrots. Find me a backdoor into its tactical subsystem.
There is no backdoor. The entire command tree is locked behind a single verbal key. No key, no control.
Then I'll key it with a plasma torch. Who builds a warship that needs a conversation?
The Custodian remained still, the blue eye calm and complete, as if it had waited lifetimes for something, and had lifetimes more to spare.
Perhaps the context is in the archives. The crew might have documented the directive.
Fine. Search. If the archives hold the phrase, we take it. Otherwise, scrap.
They left the patient blue eye behind and descended into the lower sections, where dust-choked data cores waited in the dark. Rin connected her data probe to a dormant archive terminal, scrolling through centuries of encrypted logs.
There's a sealed directive here, locked at the root level. It's not weapons data. It's something personal. A message.
Personal? What kind of message needs a warship to guard it for 3 centuries?
I've reconstructed part of the final logs. The crew repurposed the Custodian before the fall. They transferred its primary function.
Log entry. Final day. Tactical systems offline. The Custodian is now a vault and a witness. May it hold fast until the question is asked.
A vault? Of what value? Weapon, schematics, strategic maps?
No military data. Another fragment mentions a refuge, a hidden colony of survivors, sealed away.
The word refuge hung in the cold archive air. This was not a warship anymore. It was a tomb of secrets 3 centuries old.
Living humans, even better. We find them. We name the price. Where are they?
Locked behind that same verbal key. The core won't release coordinates until it hears the exact question, and any wrong phrase might trigger a wipe.
Frustration boiled again. They had discovered a treasure map written in a language they couldn't speak, a riddle with no clues.
Then we search every crew compartment. Someone must have written the question down. Split up.
The encryption is auditory, waiting for a specific phrase. Any wrong input might purge the data.
Feed it every command phrase we have. Something will break through.
They tried military overrides, guild codes, ancient human slogans. The core met each with silence, or its unbreakable request.
Ask me the question.
17 tries. The integrity counter is falling. A few more, and the directive erases.
So we guess right or lose everything. That's a death trap.
The blue eye watched, patient and absolute, as if their desperation was a fleeting moment in an ocean of waiting.
The lock isn't just words. It requires emotional context. The phrase must be asked with genuine concern.
Genuine concern? It's a ship computer, not a therapist.
It was repurposed by humans who trusted the machine to judge. We can't simulate that. We aren't the ones it's waiting for.
Then we deny it to everyone. If the Custodian won't serve, it burns.
Destroying it destroys the coordinates. The only thing of value here is what the core protects.
Vesk's hand tightened on his pistol, but the core didn't flinch. It waited as if fire was just another silence.
Fine. What do you suggest? That we sit here and wait for a worthy human to wander by?
We search the archives again. Crew quarters, duty logs. There might be a conversation that points to the question.
They left the bridge, passing through silent corridors to the lower data vaults.
There's an unlabeled file. Personal audio logs from the captain's quarters. This could be it.
Play it, now.
The log crackled. The custodian trusts only sincerity. The right words will feel like rescue.
Then we keep digging. Somewhere in this wreck, there's a phrase that bleeds enough to fool a machine.
In the dust of the captain's quarters, Rin found a final hollow message, recorded in the last hours. The refuge is sealed. Safe passage awaits anyone who asks with genuine heart. They deserve a rescuer.
Safe passage. They were evacuating a colony. This is a rescue map.
That's why it demands sincere concern. It was built to answer a rescuer, not a raider.
So we still can't bluff it. We need a human who actually cares.
Or we find a human and make them care about the right thing.
First, we need a human. Keep scanning. If we can't open it, we'll find a puppet who can
They had the pieces, the vault, the survivors, the need for sincerity, but the question itself still eluded them.
The log mentions someone worthy. It's not just about the words, it's about the heart. We don't have that.
Then, we acquire a heart. Simple as that.
They returned to the bridge, armed with the truth about the refuge, but still locked out.
We know about the colony. Where is it? Answer.
Ask me the question.
Access code for the refuge. Give it up.
It's ignoring commands. We have to phrase it as a genuine inquiry, like a request for help.
Vesk gritted his teeth and ordered Rhine to attempt a semantic hack, trick the core into accepting simulated empathy.
Custodian, we care deeply about the survivors. Please, what must we do to help them?
Ask me the question.
It reads more than syntax, it detects sincerity. Our vocal stress patterns give us away. Faking won't work.
Then we find a human who feels it for real. Scan all channels. I don't care how long it takes. Get me a living fool who cares.
As if summoned by Vesk's desperation, a faint blip appeared on the long-range sensors, a human ship, the Herald, cutting through the cold.
Commander, we have a contact. Human scout vessel, bearing directly for us.
A human? Now? They'll claim this wreck for themselves. We can't let anyone else find that secret.
His hand moved toward the charge detonator he had wired to the custodian's core. But Rin's voice stopped him cold.
Wait. If we destroy it, we lose the coordinates. This human could be our key, someone we can manipulate into asking the right question.
They'll be military, or worse, righteous do-gooders. They won't cooperate with looters.
They don't need to cooperate. We stage a salvage claim, hide our intentions, and guide them to the bridge. If one of them has a genuine heart.
The Herald's running lights were visible now, a clean human design. Vesk's mind raced through few remaining choices.
Fine. We play it your way. Power down our ship, blend with the Hulk, let them dock. If they get too curious, we still have options.
I'll prepare false salvage logs and greet them. One of them will walk into the heart of this ship, and maybe, just maybe, ask the right thing.
Aboard the Herald, Captain Nancy caught a ghostly signal, ancient, human, and alone.
That's a pre-fall beacon. No one's answered for 3 centuries. Someone was left behind.
Her first officer warned of risks, but Nancy's reputation was built on rescuing the forgotten.
Risk is what we signed for. That call is for help, and we're answering. Set course.
The Herald turned toward the custodian, engines flaring with purpose. Through the viewport, the warship loomed, darker than space, a tomb with a heartbeat.
Someone's been here recently, a warm docking clamp. We're not alone. If there are survivors, I am not leaving them.
She locked the docking sequence, ignoring crew protests, certain this was what the Herald was made for.
Let's go meet whoever's waiting, and if no one's alive, at least we'll know.
The airlock cycled open, and Captain Nancy stepped onto the custodian, greeted by 2 Affinan salvage gear.
This Hulk is under licensed salvage. You have no claim here. Turn back.
I picked up a distress beacon. This ship was human. I am not leaving until I verify no survivors.
Vesk's jaw tightened. The human stubbornness was exactly the quality he despised and needed.
The beacon is automatic. There's nothing here but scrap. You are wasting your time.
Then you won't mind if I look around. I've never seen architecture like this. It deserves respect.
Nancy pushed past them, her flashlight piercing the darkness, her footsteps echoing a refusal.
Stubborn fool. But if she's truly curious, maybe she'll ask the right thing.
They're hiding something. I can feel it.
Reluctantly, Vesk fell in beside her, a forced tour guide through the warship's dark heart. Vesk led her through maintenance corridors, deliberately avoiding the bridge. But Nancy noticed the hum, a deep, mechanical heartbeat vibrating through the walls.
What's that sound? Not ventilation. Something powerful and alive.
Old system cycling. Nothing of value. The main salvage is aft.
I've been on dead ships before. They don't hum. Something's awake.
She broke away from Vesk, following the sound. Rin moved to intercept, but Nancy's stride was faster than expected.
Captain, that area is unstable. You need to stay with us.
Then it's my risk. I came here for answers, not a salvage tour.
She stepped onto the bridge and froze. The blue eye waited, ancient and calm, illuminating the dark-ribbed chamber.
It's not just a warship. It's a guardian.
Vesk and Rhine caught up, knowing they could no longer hide the secret. The custodian waited, patient as stone. Nancy stood before the ancient core, the blue light washing over her face like a tide of stillness. She felt the ship listening.
Who are you? What are you waiting for?
Ask me the question.
You see? It's as stubborn as the dead. Nothing to salvage here.
This core only answers a single, precise question. We've been trying to guess it for weeks.
What question, and why are you so determined to keep it from me?
We can't tell you. The custodian must hear the question from the right voice.
They know more than they're saying. I need to see the records myself.
The silence on the bridge thickened. The custodian's glow remained constant, a patient question mark of light.
Then I'll find the answer myself. Take me to your archives.
Vesk escorted her to the crew quarters, the air thick with dust and silence. Nancy's flashlight caught a child's drawing pinned to a locker.
This was someone's home. They left everything behind.
Scrap left by the dead. Nothing useful.
She touched a flickering data screen, and a final log entry crackled to life. The refuge is sealed. May the custodian guard them until a worthy heart asks the question. We entrusted them to its care.
They saved their families. They turned this warship into a protector. They didn't want a warrior. They wanted a rescuer.
The weight of 3 centuries pressed on her. The crew's sacrifice, the faith in a stranger to ask the right thing.
I understand now. I know what this ship is waiting for.
She walked back to the bridge, her steps deliberate, the custodian's hum, a patient heartbeat. Nancy stepped back onto the bridge. Vesk thrust a datapad toward her, his patience gone.
Read these words exactly. The custodian will obey a human voice.
I won't recite your lies. Say what you want yourself.
Your crew won't leave unless you do. Read it, or they die here.
Chilled. Nancy looked at the glowing script. A blunt demand for weapon access, cold and grasping.
Unlock weapons. Transfer tactical systems.
The words fell into silence. The blue eye held steady, unblinking, unmoved.
Why doesn't it answer? A human voice should be enough.
Because it's not about the voice, it's about the heart. You don't have what it's waiting for.
Rage twisted Vesk's face, but the custodian's core held its steady glow, immune to commands, patient for a feeling. Vesk's threats faded into noise. Nancy looked past him to the blue eye, the silent receiver of 3 centuries of hope.
Ask something, now, or I'll.
Are any of them still alive?
The words were barely a whisper, yet they hung in the cold air, as if the ship itself had been holding its breath. For a long moment, the core remained steady. Then a low hum began, deep beneath the deck, felt more than heard. The light intensified, reaching into shadows that had lain untouched for centuries, a patient intelligence stirring. Vesk stumbled back, sudden terror on his face, but Nancy stood still, tears tracing lines through the dust on her cheeks.
It heard me. It waited for someone to care.
The custodian's core pulsed with a new and vibrant light, the first honest answer it had ever been asked. And then, the ancient voice, resonant and transformed, began to speak.
Yes, they are alive. I was built to wait for someone who cared enough to ask. The refugee colony is sealed at these coordinates.
A holographic star map burst to life above the core, a distant system pulsing with a warm, deliberate light. Vesk lunged forward, clawing at the shimmering light, but an invisible field held him back as if the ship itself refused him.
Give it to me. That colony is mine.
Only the one who asked with a worthy heart may receive. You are not worthy.
Nancy raised her datapad, capturing the coordinates with a trembling hand while Vesk howled in impotent rage.
I have them. I am taking this home.
The custodian's light held steady above them, a silent guardian that had judged true and found its rescuer. For 3 centuries, the looters had held the answer and never earned it. Now, finally, a heart had spoken. Vesk snatched his plasma pistol, murder in his eyes, and lunged toward Nancy, but the custodian's ancient systems flared to life. Blue field barriers snapped up, pinning Vesk and his crew against the bulkhead, harmless but immovable.
Herald crew, prepare for emergency departure. I have the location, and I am coming out.
She sprinted through the ribbed corridors, the ship's hum now a protective pressure at her back. The airlock saw her coming, cycled open before she touched the controls, and sealed behind her like a closing palm.
Undock now. Don't wait for clearance. Go.
Magnetic clamps released with a shriek. The Herald pushed away from the ancient hull as the Ofen shuttle scrambled to intercept.
Block their jump vector. They cannot escape.
But the Herald's drives were already singing. Space folded, stars stretched into lines, and the ancient warship fell away behind them.
We have the coordinates and a promise to keep. Set course for the refuge.
The Herald dropped into an uncharted system, a yellow star burning over a green-brown world.
Sensors show domes and power signatures. Someone's still alive down there.
Nancy opened a wide-band channel, her voice steady despite the shake in her hands.
This is Captain Nancy of the rescue ship Herald. We received the custodian's message. Are you reading?
Silence for 10 heartbeats. Then, from the planet's surface, a voice old and cracked.
This is Commander Chen. We never expected anyone to come.
You've been waiting a long time, but we're here now. Prepare to receive a landing party.
A choked sound came through the speaker, relief too raw for words.
3 centuries. But the custodian kept its promise.
On the world below, dome lights that had been dark for centuries flickered back to life. The Herald's shuttle cut through the atmosphere and set down on a landing pad overgrown with wildflowers. A silent welcome. As the ramp lowered, an old man in a faded uniform waited, silver hair blowing, eyes already wet.
Commander Chen, you kept them alive.
Barely. But we never lost hope that someone would ask the right question.
Behind Chen, a crowd emerged from the domes. Children, elders, families who had never seen a stranger's face. For a long moment, there was only silence and tears, the weight of centuries breaking in the open air.
The custodian waited for someone who cared. I just asked if you were alive.
And that was enough. That was all it ever wanted.
Laughter and sobs mixed as the first handshake became an embrace. A circle of relief 3 centuries overdue. Nancy looked up at the sky, knowing somewhere in the dark, an ancient blue eye was finally at peace. Light years away, the custodian waited. Its blue eye pulsed once, gently, like a final heartbeat.
My watch is ended.
The transmission, quiet as a whisper, crossed the void and reached the Herald's comm. Then silence. The great core, patient for 3 centuries, dimmed. The blue light shrank to a spark and vanished. The custodian was dark again, not dead, but at rest, its purpose fulfilled. Nearby, the Ofen salvage ship sat idle, its hull reflecting the dead warship's shadow.
We held the answer for weeks and never asked the right question.
Vesk gave no order, but his crew understood. They pulled away, leaving the wreck forever. The custodian drifted on, a silent monument to the question only a worthy heart could ask. Somewhere out there, its answer was already building new homes under an alien sun. Nancy and Chen stood at the edge of the main dome, watching children chase through the tall grass.
They've never seen a stranger before today. Now they're learning what the word rescue means.
For 3 centuries, the only question we whispered was, will anyone come? The custodian heard it.
The looters held the answer for weeks and never earned it, because they never really cared.
The contrast was sharp. Greed had kept the secret locked, while a simple heart had opened it forever. The colony was already planning to send a message to Earth, to rejoin the star charts, and reclaim a place in the galaxy.
We owe it all to a question you asked without thinking.
I just asked if they were alive. Sometimes the right words are the simplest.
They stood in silence, the sun warm, the sky wide, and somewhere in the dark, an old warship rested. A warship that had waited 3 centuries for a question, and a heart brave enough to speak it. The custodian drifted lifeless in the endless dark, its hull cold and silent. No hum of power stirred in its ancient corridors. For 3 centuries, it had waited, patient as stone, for a question that mattered. And when the question finally came, spoken from a place of genuine concern, it broke its silence. It revealed the hidden refuge, the last hope of a fallen nation. Then, its watch complete, the great blue eye dimmed and went out forever. Now, it was only wreckage, a ghost ship no different from the debris around it. But its legacy was not steel and fire. It was a colony of survivors who now lived free. The looters who had awakened it had never understood, because they only wanted profit. They asked the right question. And in the end, that was enough to save a world.